Guys, great to see you and welcome back to Tip of the Month. And for anybody who hasn't seen our previous episodes, I'll drop a link down below to those so you can check those out. They don't need to be watched in any particular order. I would just urge you to watch them because this is a series in which I put together some really significant tips which I feel can help you quite dramatically with your playing. Now today we're going to take a look at timing and the importance of that. I'm going to give you some ideas that you can try and some examples that you might want to work with. If we have good timing, it really shows in everything that we play. I mean, it's one thing knowing how to play the notes, but it's quite another to know where they fall. And that's what makes you sound good, just as much as playing the right notes, okay? One of the first things we can do, and I think that this can really be beneficial, is that we can put our guitar down and we can focus in on the task at hand, which is, as we've said, our timing and how we can improve that. Now, perhaps as a first step, I always feel that a metronome definitely has a place. And, nowadays, it's so simple, there's no real excuse not to have a metronome. So we can just fire one up on our mobile device or whatever it might be. We might have a physical one. The important thing is to not start off too quickly. That's the golden rule. We don't want to start at a pace that we're struggling to keep up with. Now I'm going to give you some very simple drills that you can try out now. They may on the face of it seem too simplistic, but honestly, when we're trying to do these things for an extended period of time, that's when it becomes difficult. It's one thing to just clap out a rhythm for 20 seconds. Most people will be able to do that, but to do it for 3 minutes without dropping a beat is quite another thing. So like I say, what we're looking to do essentially is to bring up a metronome and have it at a tempo that we can manage. Now what I'm going to do is suggest that we clap a tempo. So we'll also be taking a look at key signatures as well, and that's important. So that's, you probably heard the term 4/4. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 type of thing, and 3/4 being 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So, and you'll have 6/8, which is another kind of popular type of time signature. So I would suggest that you invest a little bit of time understanding some of those, but by far and away the most common is 4/4, and that's a great starting place. Now if we start our metronome, what I would suggest we're going to do to start with is we're going to clap on the 1 and let the other 3 beats. So for every 4 count we're going to count on the 1 like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. And we need to be right on that beat. And like I say, if we start doing this regularly for a period of time, it's going to become second nature. And that's the place where we want to be. So that's just your most fundamental kind of clapping through a 4/4 beat. Now what we can do is we can introduce 2 claps for the 4 count. And obviously they would fall on the 1 and the 3. So that'd sound like this. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And like I say, trying to do this for extended periods of time is quite a challenge. And also, like I say, try tapping your foot as well. You can do that, as well as clapping perhaps. Next we could move on to say 4 beats. So we're clapping on every beat. And then what we can actually do is we can place an emphasis on one of the beats, because that's very much what happens in the real world when we're playing rhythm guitar. It's all about, there's emphasis on particular beats, and not so perhaps a little bit louder on one beat and a little bit softer on another beat. And these are the nuances of timing. We're getting into the area of what really brings about a professional sound. When you have this kind of understanding of timing and realize that it is quite a complex subject, but it can be simplified. So, for example, it's important to know where the 1 is, and the way we can do that is like the emphasis, like I've said. So we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're placing the emphasis on the 1. Again, what we could do is we could play each of the beats, but we could place the emphasis on the 1 and the 3, and that would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course we could tap our leg, we could slap our leg, we can clap our hands, tap our foot, whatever it is. We're trying to instill this timing ethos into our mentality and make it a part of us, because the ultimate goal is that this becomes automatic. That's the holy grail. That's what we're looking to do. Now, another thing that we can do is we can divide the beats, and this becomes particularly relevant when we're playing rhythms on the guitar. So, for example, we could have a 4 count like we've got here, but we could divide it. So it was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So we've doubled now. We're playing 8 claps for a 4 beat. And it's all about dividing this into different combinations, essentially, is what we're doing. So if we had our beat again, we've got that 4, but we're trying to clap 8 times. So we'd have like that. And you can extend these things even further. So in that instance, I said 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You can actually go 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. And that would look like this. So you can see the power of clapping out these rhythms, right? Don't think for 1 minute that by putting your guitar down and focusing in on these type of clapping things and these examples and these exercises that, you're not kind of significantly improving, because you're instilling this sense of timing within yourself and getting a better understanding as to all the permutations that you can use with timing. So now let's try some of these examples with the guitar and show you how that works. So rather than clapping, now we're strumming. We shut off the strings on the left hand, which just makes things so much simpler. We don't have to think about the left hand. All we're doing is looking for this kind of sound, a nothing sound, if you like. And we're going to let that 4 count go, and we're going to play on the 1 to start with. Nice and relaxed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And see how long you can do it before you drop a beat. Now we'll do it on the 1 and the 3 like we did with the clapping. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's 2 beats. Now we can do the 4. 2, 3, 4 and 1. Nice looseness about what we're trying to do. We don't want it to be tight and rigid. That'll make it more difficult for you. So try and be loose about that. And now we're playing every beat, right? Now, like I was saying, we can start dividing those beats and play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So let me show you what that looks like on the guitar as well. And it would sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Yeah? Now, when it really becomes interesting as rhythm guitar players is that we don't always play all of the beats. We have an understanding of where they fall, and that's imperative. But when we start missing a few beats, it becomes very interesting. So let's go back to that example where we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, right? Rather than playing all of those beats, let me show you what it sounds like when we miss a couple of beats out. The important thing is that all my strokes are falling on the beat and nothing sounds out of time. So there's lots and lots of things that we can do in this. So when you're locked in, you have this ability to miss beats, to add beats, to double up on beats, to kind of minimize beats. You have a really great understanding when you're at that place and it becomes instinctive. Just, you've done it for so long, it becomes second nature. Once you arrive at that place, you will know that your guitar playing has arrived in a very, very big way. Timing, huge thing, guys. So I really hope that you will take the opportunity to work through some of these examples, because like I say, I think the benefits far outweigh anything else in a sense. Just by investing 5 or perhaps 10 minutes a day, you're going to see significant change in what it is that you're trying to do. And do try and put the guitar down and clap out some of the things like we discussed. That just helps instill this kind of timing in you. And then work through some of the exercises with the string shut off, as I say, and try and see where you go with something like that as well. As I say, all of these things will really move your timing on significantly, which is what we're looking to do. Once this thing becomes instinctive, then we've arrived at a place that, you know, many people want to be at as a guitar player. So please share your experiences with me. It's always great to hear your feedback. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be back soon with another video. In the meantime, you all take care.